Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. And yeah, I know it's been a long time, it's been 3 months, but I was really struggling to decide what to actually record for a video. And when I did actually record some, which were a few weeks ago, which were this, I was just so busy, I just didn't have a chance to really work on it, so I've had to leave it until now because for all my Christmas commissions and everything, so I've had to leave it until now, and now I've been able to get it up for you. So I thought I'd do this Border Terrier because the hair type can look a little bit complicated, but it's actually quite easy in charcoal, so I thought I would just do this just to show you how I'd get this kind of wiry fur texture in different colours and what have you that's going on this dog. So as per usual with charcoal drawings, I'm starting with white and I'm just adding some fur texture any places where the dog's got some paler coloured hairs going on. So anything that you think that would be lighter than the paper that you're drawing on, I'm just adding some white, and you can intensify it where it's lighter and make it less intense where it's not as light. And then the areas where the dog's mostly darker, I'm just leaving them completely alone. Just be sure that you're putting the strokes on that go in the direction that the fur's actually growing, so always pay attention to that. I'm always saying it, but it's surprising how people will put in strokes that completely go in the wrong direction. And don't be afraid to let the strokes cross each other as well. When you get wiry fur, one of the things that makes it look wiry is that the furs, you know, the different strokes are crossing over each other and are quite messy, so don't be afraid to let them cross over each other in places either. And here you can see I've moved over to black, and I'm just doing exactly the same with black pencil as what I did with white one, just adding more of it where dog's going to be dark coloured and then less of it where the dog's lighter coloured, but you can still see some dark hairs going on, what have you. There's lots of mix of colours in this dog and other dogs that are a similar colouring to this, so it often involves mingling strokes from the black and the white charcoal pencil together. But anyway, I've sped this up a little bit, but tried to keep it slow enough that you can sort of see what's going on easy enough. I didn't want to leave it at normal length because it lasts too long and then people just won't want to watch it. I mean, a lot of people will not watch this all the way through, but the drawing actually were pretty quick, as in like less than 2 hours it took to do this drawing. But even at that length, even though it were quite quick to do, a lot of people are not going to sit through like nearly 2 hours of footage. It's just not going to be happening. So just let me know if it's a nice speed for you. Like I say, I've sped it up enough and chopped a few bits out that didn't really need to be seen. And just let me know if it works well for you to be able to see what I'm doing without it being too long. So now all the charcoal is added, I'm going to come in with blending stump and I'm just going to blend it all. And I'll apologise for this bit of footage now. For some reason it recorded really sort of fuzzy and weird. It were only this section. I think the phone might have gone onto wide angle by accident and that's why it's done it. But I'm not sure why, and I can't be absolutely certain. But you don't really need to see everything in such detail because I'm just blending it with a stump. So the footage looks a little bit better again now, and I'm still just blending. First I just blended the blacks and then I'll bring another stump in just to blend the lighter colours, the white charcoal. And I like to have a good go over it to make sure it's nicely blended, because it makes a better base for your subsequent layers then. And whilst I'm thinking about it, I may as well mention all the supplies used in this video are listed in the description down below for anybody that's interested. And now I've finished the blending, I'm come back in with the black pencil because I need to use it to redefine things and also to push darks again, because when you use the blending stump on it, it just lightens it that little bit. So I'm coming back in to darken some areas that need to be really dark, and also to start refining things and redefining them, because obviously the blending stump makes things a little bit more fuzzy and blurred and what have you. Once I've finished with that, I come back in with a blending stump and I just go over the new black areas, because when you add them back in they just look a little bit harsh, so I just want to soften them that little bit, but I don't want to blend it as much as what I did on that first layer, because I want to retain the detail but just make it a little bit less harsh. And I also don't want to get rid of the darkness either and start muting it a little bit like that first layer did. So this one is one of a spate of Border Terriers that I've done recently, and it run up to Christmas as well. Some were in colour and some were in black and white, but yeah, they seem to have been a popular breed for me lately. It's also interesting to see how the hair texture can vary amongst individual dogs. I mean, some are more like this, and then you get others that have got longer, almost curlier fur that's a lot messier looking. So yeah, even in the same breed you get a lot of variation in coat type. So anyway, you can see me adding a few little details with black charcoal pencil. He's got a few wispy hairs that are coming off at ends of his ear flaps, so I just added them on, and then I can come in with white charcoal pencil and start adding the detail, the last layer really, main layer, with the white charcoal pencil, and start going over the top of everything. I think the main things to remember when doing this kind of fur on this particular layer using your white charcoal pencil is not to totally cover up everything underneath, because there's a lot of different coloured hairs mingled together on a lot of this dog. You don't want to make it anywhere too solid in a particular shade. So, and also because the fur's quite wiry, the hairs, the cells will tend to be quite stiff and quite thick, the actual individual strands, so they'll be quite noticeable as individual hairs, and they do crisscross a lot with each other, like I said, and they tend to be spiky and stick out and what have you. Some dogs have got like more silky hair, and the individual strands will be thinner and they'll bend more easily, whereas the reason that this is wire coated is because it's quite coarse and the strands are thicker and they don't bend as easily. And like I said, that means it gives it like a coarse, rough appearance compared to like silky, smooth hair. And making it look coarse instead of silky and smooth means that, you know, the hair tends to be going in different directions. It tends to be stiff and spiky, and so it sticks out in places. Like top at muzzle, underneath eyes, you'll get the like a fan of hair that sticks out. It might bend a little bit, but not too much, and it just sort of sticks it into air, sticks over inner corners of eyes a little bit. And like I say, you get hairs that are like crossing over each other a lot as well, so they're not all going in exactly the same direction, even in the same place. So you've got to deliberately make it look a little bit messier than what like smooth fur or silkier, softer fur would be. And when it comes to pale areas as opposed to the darker areas, it's just a case of adding a higher concentration of hair strokes and then going a little bit easier where the dog's a little bit darker in colour. And there's some places where there won't be really any white hairs at all. Now you'll probably notice that just under the collar I had to make things up a little bit because the dog were wearing a harness which were covering everything up in that area in reference photo. I had to look at a couple of other reference photos of this same dog to sort of get an idea of what were going on underneath where that harness were. So anyway, I'm going to be spending the next few minutes just adding all the white hairs to rest at dog, and you might see me come in with a blending stump on occasion on its nose and things like that, but otherwise I'm just going to let you just watch with a little bit of music, and then I'll come back in when there's something else worth mentioning. So anyway, I need to mention this area around muzzle. When you get wiry coated dogs like this, or dogs that have got a lot of fur around the muzzle and what have you, you often get this, where you get little strands which are basically wet, you know, from wet dogs, like licking its lips, drinking, sticking its nose in wet grass, all that sort of thing. And you can see here that they look quite dark and they come in a slightly different direction to the paler fur that's underneath them. So I've had to draw in the paler hairs first, and then I've had to put these strands, these wet strands in last with the black charcoal pencil. But notice how the paler hairs underneath point a little bit more outwards to the side, and then the wet strands, which I'm doing in black charcoal, point more downwards, probably because they weigh a little bit more being wet as well. It's best to add in them black strands afterwards, because there's no point putting them in first and then trying to do the paler hairs underneath them. like around the black strands. It's just too much messing around and it'll not look right, so you're better off just drawing in the white ones first and then putting the black ones on top. And then it's just a case of just some final touches, and you can see me adding some whiskers on eyebrows in black as well, which go over the top of paler hairs in background, and a few black hairs here and there, and a few touches to eyes and highlights in eyes. And just to add the last highlights, I'm bringing in this white grisaille charcoal pencil because it's really quite bright even compared to General's one, so I'm just adding the last highlights using that as well. And also for writing on name tag, I just put a few little squiggles in to give the impression of actual text rather than trying to put actual text itself on. So that's it all completed. I hope you've enjoyed it and that you found it helpful, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!